I don't know about you, but I really like this time of year. We start getting those bright, sunny days, but it also means the first of our planting season. And we've tilled in our cover crop here that we had with the Austrian peas. We've worked it into the soil real well. We've got our soil test taken care of and we know what we need to do. And it's really exciting time because now we can start planting our vegetable garden for the upcoming months. And today we're planting some of our cool season crops. On this side we're putting in some of our varieties of cabbage, and here we'll be planting a variety of broccoli, which is the early green sprouting. And these have been grown for several weeks, nice transplants, a little small, but still it's okay to go ahead and get those in the ground. Now if you'll remember, we did a soil test and our soil test told us that we were pretty good in phosphorus and potassium and that we really need nitrogen. Well, because of our cover crop, we didn't incorporate anything into the soil ahead of time, and our pH was okay too, so we didn't have to put any lime. So probably what we'll do, in addition to a starter solution that we've got here, we'll water them in with a starter solution, but we'll come back in a few weeks and we'll side dress those just with a little bit of nitrogen to help push them along. So we really are starting to get our raised beds in good shape with our fertility. Another crop that we'll be planting this time of year is our peas, our edible potted peas, and the particular variety that we have is Little Sweetie, and they were provided to us by Stokes Seed Company. But one thing that you want to do is make sure that you read the label, because these particular peas have been treated with a fungicide which will help in prevention of any soil diseases such as damping off that might affect the seedling as it's germinating. But what we've done is just planted or made a little circle here where we're going to plant some of the peas, and we're going to put them about 1.5 inches, an inch deep, and just go around the circle. And these are dwarf varieties, so once we get them in there, they really shouldn't be too tall and need any staking. But in case that should happen, they can fall over on each other. We'll still get good production, but we can put one of our cages in the center to stake them on if we need to. But we'll cover those up, tap them down, and then we'll water them in, which is real important. And one thing that we need to keep in mind when we're planting this time of year, there's a wide range of differences in the state. Some of you may have soil temperatures that have already warmed up and could have been planting some of the cool season things for a few weeks. Really the key to it is to check your soil temperature. If it's around 40 degrees, that's a good temperature to start planting cool season things. Some of the peas and other things might like a little warmer temperature up around 50, but you should be pretty safe until the middle of March. And as a reminder of some other things that you can be planting this time of year, asparagus, beets, broccoli, cabbage, which we've planted here, carrots, Swiss chard, kohlrabi, which is a real interesting one, lettuce, just about any varieties, our onions, peas. It's a great time to start in on our Irish potatoes, radishes, rhubarb, spinach, and even turnips. So that's a listing of cool season crops that you can start planting now until the middle of March. And now that we've got our cool season things in, it's also time for us to start planting our warm season transplants from seed. Probably one of the most difficult tasks in starting your warm season transplants is determining just when you need to plant the seed. Well, I've got a little simple formula that I'd like you to follow along and try and see if that doesn't help you out. The first thing that you need to do is determine which crop that you're going to plant, then find out when your frost-free date is in your area. And the University of Oklahoma Climatological Survey has sent us an updated map that is a 30-year average. So determine when your last freeze chance is, and remember that's just a probability, about a 50% chance, but it does give you a guideline. Then you want to determine how many weeks it takes for your transplants to grow before you set them out. And that can usually be determined by reading the seed packets or finding some information on extension fact sheets or even other reference books. Or your garden centers can help you determine that as well. As an example, we're going to show you peppers. Now, in Stillwater, off of this map, we've determined, here we are, just about here, right on the borderline of between April the 10th and April the 5th, but we're going to go with April 10th as our last frost-free date. So we've determined that date. On peppers, we know that it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to grow the transplants. So all you need to do is just get a nice calendar, count back from the dates that you want to plant, so the frost-free date of April 10th, and just count back 6 weeks from that time, and we've determined that we can start planting our seed for our warm season transplants about the 27th of February. Now that's going to vary a little bit again on the crop that you choose. Well, to start your transplants, there's really just a few things that you need to have to get this task accomplished, and that is containers, a soilless mix, and we usually say soilless because it's lighter, it drains easier, and hopefully it will be sterilized because you don't want to introduce any pathogens. That's such a sensitive time in getting the seed to germinate. And then of course water and a nice place to get them to germinate. Well, there's all kinds of containers that you can use for starting them. They come in 6-packs, plastic. You can even find individual ones. Here we've got, again, 4 packs that are about 2 inches. But really a nice thing for you to do is to try to recycle them and use the different kinds of trays over and over. You've also seen us here on Oklahoma Gardening talk about soil cubes and peat pots as far as starting seedlings. But today I want to show you one where you can help recycle these trash sacks that you keep, or grocery bags. And what you do is just cut out 6-inch squares from your grocery bags, and after you've cut out those squares, you fold them in thirds, one direction, and that'll give you a crease. Open them back up, fold it the opposite direction in thirds, and again, when you've completed that, you'll see the creases in the center, and then you just go in and make 2-inch cuts up to that crease. And then you're ready to compile your peat pot. And basically you just fold them over like this, alternating them, and then put in a little bit of glue between each layer to hold it together. And your finished product would look like this. And these are 2-inch squares, and they really make nice little pots. This is about an inch square where we've put one together too. So the 6-inch piece of grocery stack is really the size to start with. We've got several of them here. As you water them, they will start to break down, but usually in 5 to 6 weeks they'll be ready for you to plant directly in the soil and they'll decompose on you. So it really is a good thing for you to keep in mind. Now we're going to plant some seedlings or seed here to start geraniums, and it's also a good time for that. And we're going to try a new one this year, geranium called Orange Appeal. And it's a first true orange color in a geranium, and of course with our OSU Cowboy colors orange, we're going to plant some of those around the garden. And we've got our soilless mix, and the seeds are quite small, and they've put in a desiccant to help keep the moisture out. But we put a few of the seeds in our hand, and then we're going to put a couple of them in each planting hole. Tap that down, and then we can thin those out as time goes along. But once we've got them in there and we water them, the most crucial things now is moisture and heat, trying to get them to germinate. And a lot of times in our homes we don't have enough ample heat, so if you'll maybe cover these with saran wrap to hold the moisture in, set them on top of a refrigerator because there's a lot of heat that's generated during that time. That will help in germination. Once they start to come up, take the saran wrap off or any other plastic cover you may have used, then move them over where you'll get a pretty direct light from your windows, because the problem is if they don't get enough light, they get tall and leggy and it's hard to keep them going and they have a harder time getting established. But just before you plant them, once you get them to the appropriate size, make sure you set them outdoors for a few hours at a time to get them hardened off, as we call it, so they'll be ready for the wind and that hot sun. So hopefully if you'll follow some of these tips and check, you'll be able to start some of your transplants, and within 6 to 8 weeks you'll have them ready to go to plant outside for the summer gardening season.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.